with Alec. Quick cut here from another
Yeah.
We are on day 4 of our little interview teasers, and we're talking about the 4th track on your EP, which is
A little bit of everything.
A Little Bit of Everything. Yeah, that's
Stumbled
the
over it
title
a
of the
little
song.
bit.
It's not a description of it, right? Okay, talk to us about this song. What's the premise? What's it about?
This song I actually wrote when I was quite sad because I'd just been rejected from drama school, but I wanted to make myself happy again. So I wrote a happy song because why not? This is probably my poppiest track, I would say, and it's just about being like, yeah, I mean it's a pop sort of love song, I guess, with a bit of insecurity, sort of in this third verse. I think it's sort of like I'm down to do this, but like you might not be. So it's sort of an undertone of like a bit of like, oh, this could be if they're willing, as like if they're as into it as I am, sort of thing. So yeah, it's a fun song that is just like got a poppy tune. It's a bit catchy. Yeah, that's
Cool.
pretty much it.
I think that's a good summary. I know the song well. Was it judging from the Monday Morning, which was quite a chilled, mellow vibe, and Those Kids, which had a bit of a raucous energy to it, and then Find, which was a bit more back to mellow, but a bit more honest lyrically, and then we've got a slightly more poppier song here. Was that a switch in your brain, or was it just that's what came to you when you wrote?
I think I do have a few songs that are just a bit more like that. I think I was giving myself a pick me up kind of sort of. Yeah, it just what came out, to be honest. In the same way, like it did sound on when it was just on an acoustic, it sounded quite similar to sort of Those Kids in that kind of ballpark. It's only when I got to the actual recording of it where I sort of started taking things out and putting different sort of instruments in, where it became sort of this more poppy kind of feel to it. Because the original, when I first recorded it, it was very similar instrument-wise to Those Kids, but it just didn't really work for the song. So I kind of changed it around a bit.
Yeah, that's a common thing that you hear from artists, is that it doesn't matter how you start out writing a song, it can evolve at the last minute and change into something different. Now, I want to talk to you about workflow in terms of using software to help the writing process. I mean, I'm guessing most of your songs were written guitar, piano, and just singing, but very quickly I was involved with you from early doors of bringing those guide tracks into Logic and layering it up, knocking it down. Mm-hmm. How much do you think it's possible to start creating music in that way and to just keep going in the right direction, or do you think you have to knock it down and rebuild a whole bunch of times?
I think the creative process is so important. With these songs, I went in about 50 circles of loving them and then hating them, because I would add something and I'd be really excited because it gave it a whole new energy, and then I'd sort of leave it for a bit and work on the other ones, and I come back to it and I was just like, oh, it doesn't have as much energy as I thought it did. And then you'd sort of have to why is that? Why does my ear not hear that energy anymore, having not listened to it in a while? So I really think it's important to sort of figure out, by kind of doing something and then leaving it, what's best for the song. Because like when you add something, at one point, like 2 days later, you might be like, whoa, why did I add that? That is just so unright for the song. Because your ears change and your brain sort of changes with the songs and what you think of the songs and all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, definitely. And at the same time, you've also got to think of this as a 5-piece puzzle. And I guess you're trying to make the whole EP a cohesive-ish unit. And you're trying to make sure the kind of aural aesthetic lines up, if that makes sense.
For sure.
Cool, and I think you definitely achieved that. There's the number of revisions that we've done just on tweaking the overall EQ of the whole track, to the balance of different instruments having a huge effect on the feel, and always making sure it suits, not to put too arty a point on it, but your vision for it. 'Cause I know